beyond COVID and beyond vaccines. What do you see as pillars or areas for strengthening relations between the Philippines and India? And let me prompt you, probably if you could discuss the areas of trade on the one hand, and for that matter, security.
I believe that we are going through a fundamental transformation in the India-Philippines relationship, and it's driven by objective factors. Philippines is one of the world's largest countries. It is, growing. It at least until COVID. There has been some slowdown due to COVID, but earlier you were showing very consistent and strong growth trends. And we believe that the Philippines' economic future is very robust, and the economic driver is one of the key factors that brings our relationship to a new level. We also see that in the emerging geography of the Indo-Pacific, the Philippines is very centrally located. And the fact that the Philippines is a strong democracy, a vibrant democracy, sometimes, people tend to disregard democracies as not being able to, deliver on the ground. But effectively, what we find as a democracy ourselves is that democratic progress may appear slow, but it is more deep-rooted, and it provides a lot of succor to a larger number of our population. So because of the importance that we place on democracy as part of the mix for political progress in the Indo-Pacific, we see the Philippines as a very important partner in Prime Minister Modi's Act East policy. And therefore, threats that impinge on the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the Philippines, we do believe that as a friend and partner, we'd like to support the Philippines in developing its own capabilities to address some of those challenges. So therefore, defense and security cooperation becomes important in terms of maritime security or counterterrorism, etc. So you'd find this broad-based engagement on side, but also on the defense and security side in terms of the political and the larger institutional engagement that both are part of. We see a lot of good similarities.
Yeah, Ambassador. Yeah, Ambassador. Let me throw some details. Some details just from recent news pertaining to security. 220 Chinese ships within our EEZ in disputed waters, and for that matter, reports of the Philippines purchasing missiles from India. I do also want to ask it in the context of Indo-Pacific. We've been hearing this term, Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific seems like a new framing of the geopolitical order in this part of the world. There are surveys that show that Filipinos have the lowest awareness of what ASEAN is. Most Filipinos are still wrapping their heads on what the APEC is or what the Asia-Pacific is. And now the framing is Indo-Pacific, India being one of the pillars there. What exactly does the new framing of Indo-Pacific mean for Philippine security, particularly in the South China Sea?
Well, the Indo-Pacific is, to our mind, the fulcrum of the new, geostrategic and geoeconomic development of the world, because we do sense that economic activity is shifting, the center of gravity is shifting from the Euro-Atlantic area to what we now call the Indo-Pacific, which we in India define as a connected body of water that ranges from the west coast of the United States to the east coast of Africa. And of course, India is very centrally located. We'd like to see a peaceful, stable, prosperous, and inclusive Indo-Pacific, where rules are respected. And you did mention some recent incidents that are of concern to the Philippines. We do believe that international law should be respected and that disputes should be settled through peaceful means, and that countries, especially powerful ones, have to respect, and we seem to be respecting the international law and a rules-based order. And in that context, there is a new renewed focus on this entire geopolitical construct of the Indo-Pacific, something that brings together all the major actors in this space. And I believe that ASEAN is very centrally involved in this. ASEAN's centrality and ASEAN's unity will be important elements for us in the Indo-Pacific context.
Is India prepared to take a greater security role in the region, particularly Southeast Asia?
Most definitely, we would like to have stronger security partnerships. In fact, when Prime Minister Modi announced that our Look East policy would be transformed into an Act East policy, he had specifically identified security as a twin pillar, because earlier when our Look East policy had a very strong economic focus, and Prime Minister was of the view, and he coined a phrase called Sagar, which means ocean in Hindi, which is security and growth for all in the region. So under the Saga framework, we see security and economic growth as moving together, because without security, there cannot be any growth in the region.
Yeah. Mr. Ambassador, if you don't mind, when you say security and growth, and when you say the fulcrum is shifting from North America and Europe and to this part of the world, both in the context of security and growth, is the Indo-Pacific framing therefore basically an attempt to balance China?
Well, as I said, our effort is to try and be as inclusive as possible. And we would really encourage all players, especially the important players, to recognize the need to adhere to international law and to respect a rules-based order. There should be no bullying of the small by the mighty. And I think these are important elements that countries need to incorporate in their policies. It's not enough to be, flourishing in rhetoric, but people do watch what you do. And it is there, I believe, that, all the attention is focused currently.